connection, to find a piece of the action. Like a hungry poet who doesn't know he is close to perfection. Choice is the question. Moonlight night after moonlight night, side by side they will see us ride. But if they cared to look, then they would see it's our return to fantasy. 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 Can you understand that in every man there's a need to unwind? It's never been defined. Somewhere deep within there's another being you are somehow abusing by the person you're using. Moonlight night after moonlight night, side by side they will see us ride. But if you cared to look, then they would see it's just our return to fantasy. 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 Traveling faster than lightning, closer than ever before. We can go on for you and take it nearer to the legend of mystery from the beginning of time. Time. We can return to the land of the good and the kind. Time. Why don't you come to our party and open your minds? In another place, there's a newer face like an unfinished painting. Your creator is waiting. The brush and pen describe what it is inside that will set your mind thinking, while the others are sinking. Moonlight night after moonlight night, side by side they will see us ride. But if they cared to look, then they would see it's our return to fantasy. 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 Oh yeah.
interesting. It's quite repetitive, the hook. Fantasy bit, moonlight bit. It started off well with the child, and how you don't realize how close you are to perfection or attaining your goals, and you kind of make the wrong choice and give up perhaps, or take a different route. So yeah, that was interesting at the beginning, but then later on it just turned to be quite repetitive. I like the futuristic sounds added in at the end on the keyboards, perhaps towards the end of the song. So it was interesting. It was definitely nice to listen to. I like the drum roll kind of sound after they say fantasy. I like the way the drummer plays this thing. Makes it sound quite exciting, whatever's being said, spoken about, or sung about.
I've heard better songs from URIAH, and this one I was hoping it was gonna be much better, but this sounded more like a amateurish attempt of whatever was done. I didn't really get much into the lyrics. It didn't make much sense. Return to fantasy. It was again and again fantasy, again and again. I'm listening to fantasy. URIAH are a band that can that who have given better songs and way better songs than this. This really sounded like someone else made a song and stuck a name URIAH, because it doesn't sound like it belongs to them, or whatever is the reason behind making something like this, because it doesn't make sense lyrically, as well as why should it be done. Vocals were flat. Musically it wasn't really that something that would stand out or I would remember it for. So there was no primary tune, nothing. It was the only thing that I will remember, that the spooky or ghostly sound, the dark sound that was happening on the keyboard maybe, and fantasy. Every time he's saying fantasy, but it really doesn't add up together. So either it could have been lyrically very, very strong, which it didn't have anything much to offer in the lyrics, as well as musically it wasn't good. So I don't know why I was thinking, why did URIAH even make something like this? It's a colossal waste of your effort as a band, unless you really have run out of all ideas and this is something that you did for practice and you had to release it for whatever compulsions. So this actually sounded like that, because they shouldn't have this kind of a song in their catalog.